What's going on, guys? It's been a while since I made a YouTube video. It's been pretty busy here recently. Plus Instagram shut down hashtags, so that kind of stopped a lot of things. But yeah, I'm gonna start trying to make videos more often again. Today I'm gonna bring the Kraken V2 review. Starting this off, I'm gonna say that I have not flipped a V1, so my complete review on this will be over the V2. I don't really have too much knowledge to reference the V1 to. Yeah, with that being said, let's kind of jump into it. The overall length on this is a little over 10 inches. I think it's like 10.1. The blade length is 4.5 inches, with the actual cutting edge being 4 inches. The handle length is 5.625 inches. It's got aluminum handles, Tanto blade. It is on bushings, and with that being said, let's kind of work our way from the bottom up with this. With the knurling on the handles, if you want to call it that, knurling, hash marks. From the V1 to the V2, they did say that they made this a little deeper. Like I said earlier, I can't speak on the V1. However, I can say that this feels pretty nice in the hand while you're doing choker fans, really any type of fanning. It's not going to be too big of an issue of grip. The way that the lines and like the profile of the handles are on this makes it very easy to flip. Moving on from the way the handles feel, the actual material, it is aluminum. One perk to that is typically it's lower manufacturing costs, so you do get a cheaper balisong. However, with it being aluminum, you are going to sacrifice some of the durability, as in terms of like comparing it to stainless steel or titanium. What I mean by this is if you drop it, it's definitely going to mar it up. You're not going to drop it and not be able to tell that you dropped it. A lot of titanium knives, you can do that, even stainless steel. With this being aluminum, that's a con, I would say, to this knife. But other than that, I don't really have too many complaints with the handles. I think that the quality of the handles are very good. The actual milling of the handles, I don't see any defects with the one I got. Overall, the handle quality is very good. Moving on to the Zen pins. The Zen pins, they did say that they use a harder steel for the Zen pins from the V1 to the V2. I can't speak on that too much. One thing I can say is I have not noticed any handle gap going away with the V2. It's basically exactly where it was. The tolerances on this are very good. Speaking about the tolerances, we can go into a playtest. Hopefully you guys can see this. Very little play. Tap's going to be hard for me to get on the camera, but I will try. Basically no tap, very little play. The tolerances on this are very good, which leads us to our next thing, the tolerances. From the V1 to the V2, one thing that they mentioned was the bushings they used. They refined them, made it a little bit tighter tolerances because I guess some of the V1s had some tap. My experiences with this V2 is not had any tap. I've not had to mess with it any at all in terms of tuning. Out of the box, the bushings were basically cranked shut, which is all I've done. I do just crank it till it doesn't move anymore and it doesn't bind any at all. It's very smooth. Overall, the tolerances on this, I would say, is very good. Now the blade material is at ABL, I want to say, and I bought this as a flipper, so honestly, I don't know too much about that still. It's not something that I felt the need to really look into, solely because I'm only flipping this. I do not plan on cutting anything with this. This knife is solely for flipping for my purposes. If you guys do plan on EDCing this, definitely do your own research on that blade still, and make sure it's something that you would be willing to compromise for if you do need to sharpen it more, or if it's just not necessarily a strong steel. I can't speak on it. But yeah, moving on to the actual blade profile, I think this looks awesome. Huge fan of Tanto. It is a crown spine. Now, as you guys can see, the actual crowning of the spine stops right there. I'm not exactly sure why they did this. I wish they wouldn't have, just because while you're flipping this, the chamfered edges on the actual blade right here, it's not like a 90, but it's probably like a 45 and a 45. There's kind of an angle to it, but as you're flipping this, it's very easy to scrape it on your fingernail, and if you do, over time, the shavings on that can actually build up and you'll have to clean it. Not anything too big, it's not like you're going to cut yourself on it, but it's just kind of a nuisance. The price on this is $225, which honestly, for that price, I believe is a steal in terms of flippers. The balance on this thing is very good. I would compare it. I would compare the balance to it similar to the Alt Blade Alpha. Definitely a little lighter, but the way it flips is definitely similar. With that being said, this doesn't really have too much to do with this knife. I do still prefer the Alt Alpha over this. However, if you guys are looking into buying this and are actually in stock, and price does matter, definitely go with this if the Alpha is out of your price range. Honestly, even if the Alpha is in your price range, this still isn't necessarily a bad buy. A lot of people like this more than the Alpha. I think it all comes down to preference. Me personally, I like a heavier flipper. This comes in at 4.33 ounces. I'm not exactly sure on the Alpha. I want to say it's maybe an ounce heavier. I could be wrong. But yeah, overall, I really like this knife. I believe that they did a good job with the quality control. I mean, the quality control on this is awesome, arguably even better than BRS's. It's just the only trade-off for that is you're going to use a little bit of cheaper materials. As far as the box it comes in this box. It's a box that says Squid Industries, very simple box. They'll say, oh, hold on a second. There we go. Grabbed the wrong box. It's going to come in a black box. Very simple box. Basically the same exact thing as the red box, except for this one says Kraken V2 instead of the Mako. And it does come in a little pouch. And other than the pouch, it has this little foam pad to kind of keep it padded in there. But yeah, for the price, this isn't something that I say very often. For the price of this, I think it's worth it. I think it's a very reasonable balisong. It flips well. If you're looking to start flipping, but you don't necessarily want to go ahead and spend $400 on a knife, and maybe you've even been flipping for a while, you're just looking to upgrade, definitely an awesome option. It's a Kraken V2. But yeah, this basically wraps up the review on this. If you guys have any questions on anything I missed, please feel free to leave that in the comment box down below. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe. It really does help you guys liking all my videos and commenting. I've noticed that typically any videos that gets more comments and likes, they do get more views, and it helps grow the channel, which I'm extremely appreciative of you guys. Leave a comment down below of anything you would like to see me review. Always looking for new knives to review and flip. Other than that, you guys take it easy.